Okay, let this be the intro to the shop update. As I get into the shop update, there's going to be a segment where I show you the trailer after Easter where it snowed. Well, now it is April 26th, I think it is, but we got snow last night and a considerable amount of it, but considerable amount of it for this time of year. Last Sunday it was up to 80 degrees, and uh, I took the vet out with my great granddaughter, with Emma, and we kind of went out for a ride, and then I took her to a trampoline park and had a good time. And here it is a couple of days later, and we probably had about 3 inches of snow last night. But this is kind of typical New York, Western New York weather for this springtime. Yeah, every once in a while you get snow. I mean, the ice is off the lake. It was warm for a little while, not real warm, but warmer for a little while, and now we're back into those days where we get snowstorms. Last shop update, I kind of alluded to, showed you putting some strakes on the back of the Corvette. I'm going to get into that, and then we're going to get into something else that I haven't touched on in a while, and that's doing some hauling. Not a lot of it. I'm just going to show you some stuff, and then I'm going to get into a problem that I had with the truck on the last haul. Let me show you what I'm doing here. What I did is I bought some Strakes. They're called Strakes. Other people just call them fins. They go on the rear diffuser of the Corvette, and I'll explain to you at a point in time here as I'm doing it what they are actually used for. But here they are. They came packaged in this styrofoam thing, and they mount onto the car like this in the back, and as you can see in the illustration, they provided the hardware for them. Now, some of them you can buy. These are aftermarket things. They provided the screws for them. Some of them that you buy have two-sided tape and they just stick on. I didn't want those. I'm kind of was kind of leery of that tape not holding. But they give you a template, and I will take you over to the car in a second and show you, because I have one side of the template on already. They provide a template for you to tape on. You take these two circular things and line them up with some bolt holes that were in the bottom of the diffuser to begin with. But let me take you over to the car and I'll show it to you. So here we are over to the car, and I have the passenger side already mounted on. You line those two holes that I showed you up with it, and then the template has the place for you to drill into the diffuser itself. But I'll bring you back as I go along. Okay, I have the passenger side mounted, and I will explain the angle that they come at after a while, but I just wanted to use this clip to show it to you. I actually think it makes the back end look more complete. It blends in with the existing one that was in here as far as angle and function goes, but it makes the back end look more complete. It's hard to tell on that side because that template is taped up there, but before, that thing just went down in the middle there, and it was just kind of like a void spot. And putting them in there, to me, makes it look better, looks more complete. Plus, they're very functional. But anyways, yeah, there they are. Okay, so I got it. I mean, yeah, I don't have it, the diffuser screwed back onto the car yet, but I've got those things installed on both sides. What the issue is over here, there is a hydraulic pump right underneath that thing, and it's like a bitch. I watched a YouTube video of some guys doing it. Now, one of the guys actually took the entire diffuser off of it, but it's very involved. You've got to pull these little lights out, or they're not lights, they're reflectors. You got to pull them out. There's bolts behind them. It gets very involved in pulling that thing off to put them on. I watched another guy do it, and I don't know what it is with, if he had like smaller arms, smaller hands, but getting those bolts up in, getting them in, the bolts, the screws that actually go into the Strakes, getting them into the holes is the hardest part. Once you get them in there and get them started into the Strake, it's pretty easy because you can use a wrench. The wrench fits up there a lot better than your hand does to do it. I mean, it's still a pain in the butt, but you can do it. But getting your hands up in there, blood, there was a lot of blood involved in it because there's that hydraulic pump, and there's also a small cooling, like little radiator type thing up in there that cools probably the hydraulic fluid or something. I'm not even sure what that hydraulic pump is for, unless it's a suspension. The suspension, as you put it in track mode does change. Track and sport mode. You can also stiffen the steering on the car if you want to. So the steering is a lot stiffer. When you get up at high speed, you want stiff steering, so that you have better control at high speed. But anyways, got them on. It's about lunchtime. I'm going to go grab something for lunch and then come back and put the diffuser bolts back into it so that I can get it done. But it was a pain in the butt to do that. Not so much this side, but where that hydraulic pump was. I'll try and get a camera up in there and show it to you when I come back. But it was really a pain in the butt. I actually had to use those long pliers to get this top bolt in this Strake is through the hole that had been drilled. Okay, so there they are. The car is back down off of the ramps now, and the Strakes are on. Before I put them on, they were ceramic coated, so I'll wait a couple of days before I can really wash or clean them. Usually you're supposed to wait like a week before you wash them, so but the weather still isn't good enough to take the car out anyways. I mean, it's warmed up, but raining. So I'll wait a little while, wash them. You know, I got up this morning and it didn't say anything about rain or snow, and it snowed last night. No, it's like the weekend before Easter, and at my house there's snow on the bed of the trailer, but at my house it's on the ground. I actually had to brush it off of the truck this morning. when I got in. Like on the top of that toolbox, you can see that's what we had last night. But I didn't expect it. Making a small run down to, well, I guess you wouldn't call it a small run, Georgia, but gonna bring you along. Gotta haul trailers back. First time for that. We're gonna take a little walk down here by the trailer. Yeah. This is the 2 trailers that I went to Georgia to pick up for this guy. Just gonna tell you a little story about it. I don't even know where the keys are for this thing. I wonder if they put the keys in it. Oh, I've got a package. Maybe the keys are in that. But anyways, wow, I never noticed that the trailers are different. This one has a, it's an area for a generator. How do you open this one? You must open it with a key. Never noticed that they were different. That's not why I brought you out here. I brought you out here not because I wanted you to see him as much as I wanted to tell you a story about him. I picked him up for a guy that purchased them directly from a manufacturer down in Georgia. Now, it's pretty cool because he really got a great deal on them, buying them directly from the manufacturer. Not many of them, trailer manufacturers, do that. But this company, they let you buy directly from the manufacturer. What the problem is he gave me a check to take down to him. And I get down there and I go into the place and I give him, told him the invoice numbers and stuff that were relayed to me when I talked to him on the phone Friday. I got the invoice numbers from him. Guy says to me, so you're picking up 2 of them, right? And I says, yeah, I'm picking up 2 of them. And he says, where's the other driver? And I says, what do you mean, where is the other driver? And he says, well, how are you taking 2 of them? I said, putting them on my trailer. He says, we don't load. We can't load trailers onto other trailers. I says, what do you mean you can't load them on? And he says, yeah, it's a company policy. It's a liability issue. But what happened is I couldn't talk him into doing this. I actually had to hire people. So I'm sitting in Georgia, 1,000 miles away from where I live, where this guy is that bought these things, and they're refusing to load these things onto it. But anyways, so what I ended up doing is having to hire a guy that had a pickup truck, come over, pull these out of the lot after I got all the paperwork and had paid, gave him the check for it. Hired a guy to pull them out to a lot and take them to a company where they loaded them onto my trailer. So I had to pay this guy. He pulled it over there. I drove over there. We loaded the first one on using forklift trucks. Well, he went back and got the second one, and then we did the same thing with the second one. But it's so ironic that these companies are being run, and this is my take on it. I said something to the guy about it, and he wouldn't deny it. But these companies are, in the most part, are being run by insurance companies. Insurance companies dictate to them what they can and can't do. I have no doubt that it was an insurance company that dictated to them that not to load trailers onto other trailers because it's liability. Just, it's absolutely ridiculous the things that little light bulb up there. I'm looking at this thing. Are you kidding me? It's a crimp connector in the wheel well, and it's not. There's no. It's not heat shrink or anything. Is the other thing like that? I mean, yeah. See, there's no crimp connector on this one. Yeah, that would be a huge issue around here. I mean, around here, you get like, I'm not sure if he'll pull it in the winter time, but you'll get salt and stuff in there, and it'll just corrode that right out. But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that they'll look at this. They didn't even seal that one. And see, there's one on this side in the back trailer, but they tried to seal it. But the crimp connector, yeah. Okay, I probably, what I did is cut that video off because I got sidetracked onto that crimp connector wiring issue in the wheel wells again. In the weather in New York, where these trailers were going, is not conducive of having an exposed crimp connector, especially in the wheel well. They're going to get moisture, salt in it, and especially the way the crimp connectors are. I mean, they were vertical, so moisture would stay in the end of the crimp connector. But let me just tell you, I'm going to throw a couple of pictures up here of the trailers on my trailer at a service station in Georgia, just so that you continue to know what we're talking about. Regardless of the fact, once the guy that bought these trailers, even though I had to pay two different companies, a towing company that actually pulled the trailers out of there and took them over to where company that I had them loaded onto my trailer at, and then I had to pay that company to load them onto my trailer. Even though he ended up paying for extra for my time to find these companies, my time to spend coordinating getting them over to this other place, and all of this, he still ended up with these trailers cheaper. And he's going to take the trailers and have them inspected by a local dealer here and fix those wiring issues, make sure that they're sealed good, make sure everything's good with them, and have them inspected in New York. And all of this said and done, he is still ending up paying less money than he would have bought them at a dealer here. So I guess it's a good point. He says he wants some more, and I'll probably be making another haul later in the season or later maybe this fall. and but we'll know what to expect and know to contact these people beforehand so that we can make the arrangements for the day I come down, to get them out of there and take them over so that they can load them on my trailer. But anyways, that's probably going to do it for this video. I kind of alluded that I was going to touch on some other subjects, but it's getting too long, and we'll do that at another shop update. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe.